Welcome back to Boy Band Break, where we encourage you to take a break from your day and join us in some boy band conversation. As always, my name's Diane.
I'm Chinzia.
I'm Sophia.
And I'm Lydia, aka Mama Lou.
And if you are joining us on YouTube and you can see this video, you can see that we have some very special guests with us today. Woo! We have the boys from Boy Band Review with us. So excited that you're here. Welcome.
Welcome.
Can you all introduce yourselves, please?
All right, musicians first.
All right. Hola todos. My name is Omar Mexico, and I play bass.
I'm TJ. I play guitar.
What's your name? Wait, say again.
I'm TJ.
TJ.
Hi, TJ.
Hi.
Hey everybody, I'm way in the back, and I usually sit at the back of the stage anyway. I play drums. I'm Tyler.
Hello.
My name is Russell. I sing.
My name is Sam.
Woo.
I'm Jan. I also sing. I am Brian, and I sing too.
Awesome.
Awesome. Oh my goodness.
Welcome all.
I am like okay, I know this is going to sound weird. I'm so starstruck. You guys are gorgeous. All of you are gorgeous. Like, wow. Okay. Anyways, just going to put that out there.
This is probably best that we're not in person. So
That's right. That's right. We can't grab at you.
When we're between shows.
It must be the lighting.
And the sun. Oh my goodness. So tell us all about Boy Band Review, because we want to promote you guys as much as possible, because we're big into boy bands. We love boy bands. So like, just kind of like give us like a history lesson in Boy Band Review.
Boy Band Review is a touring tribute that celebrates all things boy band. Anything from NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, New Kids on the Block, Jonas Brothers, One Direction. If it's a boy band hit, we're probably covering it. Yeah. Even the one-hit wonder boy bands like O-Town, LFO, and all those other hoots.
those are all our favorite boy bands. So.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And we tour around the U.S. And we're working on Canada.
Woo.
We're announcing a show in Alaska with a special member from a boy band, from a touring boy band. It's been seen in commercials and on TikTok. We're not at subject to say yet, but tune into boybandreview.com to see which special boy band music artists that we're playing with. And we have a full band. We do full light show, full production, video. We wear the finest white clothes in the world. And we sing and we dance and we have a great time doing it. And we love doing this. It's so much fun. Singing the songs of the 90s, the 2000s, even today. And there's a boy band resurgence going on, and we're just so lucky to be a part of it and sharing our love and joy of boy bands with the crowds at the venues that we play at.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
We were watching some of your videos, and it looks like there's always a nice big crowd out in front of you, and everyone's rocking out and having a great time. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's so much at our disposal to like offer the crowd, considering the genre. It's such a connected genre compared to a lot of other musical styles. This was all about the crowd connection. So yeah, there's so much. We are very lucky to get lots of enthusiasm at these shows. We're all from different areas around Chicago, and the band's been around for over 5 years. And so, yeah, I'm just trying to hit on the history a little bit. Hopefully that answers.
Nice. So has it always been this core group of 7 guys, or have you guys kind of...
So the birth of Boy Band Review, it was a 90s tribute 10 years ago called the Hot Sauce Committee. And we did all 90s music, and we used to do a medley of boy band songs. And then there was almost like the stigma, like a boy band tribute wasn't a real tribute band to do.
Yeah.
And we did a full boy band tribute night, and it was the biggest crowd we ever played in front of. So it was an aha moment. And we said, we should go all in on boy bands. So 5 years ago, we made the leap. And there was a Vegas residency at Planet Hollywood opening up for Britney Spears.
Wow.
That lasted for a couple months. And then Backstreet Boys came to Planet Hollywood, and then they said bye to boy band reviews. So we came to Chicago. And then the guys in the band, Jan is the second senior in the band. And then all the other guys have been in it for about ranging from anywhere for the past 3 years to the past couple weeks. Yeah. And Tyler in the back. Tyler with the great hats.
Nice.
You do have nice hats, Tyler. I agree.
Yes. From what we can see, anyways.
Mm-hmm. So, like, walk us through, like what does a boy band review night look like?
You want to say that, Jen? You want to talk about the night?
Boy band review night.
Nice and loud.
Boy band review night, man. You know, I have never been on the other side of it, but if we're talking boy band review night from our perspective, is that kind of what you're going for?
Yeah. Like, tell us what you do, how you prepare, everything. Just tell us everything.
Give us the scoop.
I'll wake up in the morning, have a bowl of cereal,
Go to the bathroom.
and then, I'll check my phone, see what time bus call's at, where bus call's at, and see if I'm going to get there on time. And then we'll all meet somewhere.
We travel frequently far distances.
Very often.
Yeah.
We often travel far distances, and we usually meet in a central location if we're going out of town, we'll meet there, and then I'll hop in the van, which we are now, and go to the location. Otherwise, meet at the venue. If it's local in Chicago, we'll all just meet at the venue. And yeah, we'll get to the venue. We'll load in. We'll get all the gear out. We have a huge trailer. We'll get all the gear out, set it up, and once it's all set up, we'll sound check. And once everything looks good, we'll head back to the green room if the venue has one. We'll all just kind of hang out and get ready and get dressed and kind of chit chat and do the thing.
Stretch.
Yeah.
Very important.
There is a certain transition from everyday life to feeling fabulous enough to sing some of these songs with your whole heart. And so, yeah, that time beforehand is sort of like a peaceful, generally like a peaceful, positive energy exchange. Anyway,
At least we try to. There's a little bit of a moment that happens where sometimes we're very hands-on. We do the setup ourselves for the show, so sometimes we don't get that, and it's just like we're rushing on stage. I remember there was a show in Iowa that we just did that we were pretty pressed for time, and Jan and I were the last ones on stage, literally running as the intro was playing in the background. So we really try to find a moment to meditate, but sometimes it's just like go.
Yeah.
And usually at the end of the night, we're so happy that it was such a great show that sometimes there's fans or venue owners or somewhere where they want to offer an after party. So it might be at some pool, like in Kentucky. There was some very, very well off family that had a ginormous pool with inflatables and
Nice.
fridge full of
literally a fridge dedicated to White Claw. Last night,
Diane's favorite beverage.
last night we had a fan that celebrated her birthday. She got an Airbnb with a hot tub. We forgot our swimsuits, so we had boy band bathtub. Hot tub,
Oh my gosh.
review.
Oh,
It was
wow.
fantastic. So it's always an adventure.
Lydia might die before the end.
I know. That's right up her alley.
This is beautiful, guys. You're giving me life, honestly. I love it.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
This is where I think the reality of the peak boy band culture does kind of collide with our experience a little. Like in general, shipping out in a van with our own trailer, being so hands-on, that's a little different from the privileged youth of NSYNC and Backstreet Boys.
Right.
But then we get down to it and people, scream for us and relate to us and invite us into their lives. And that starts to feel more real, more like the real boy band experience, where it's just spooky and loving, and yeah, we're just very lucky to get a little
That's
taste.
awesome.
So since you guys are setting up all your stuff, you also have to tear down. So do you ever sometimes find that after a show high and you're all excited and you had this great show and you're like, okay, sorry, I'll meet you in a bit. I just got to put all the amps back in
Roll the speaker back.
If we're going to get down to brass tacks,
Yeah, do it. Tell us, spill the tea.
some members of the band are better crowd favorites after a show. So we might lose them to a one-on-one conversation with an audience member. And as a team player, we'll help load their gear because we want them to interact with people and build the audience. But usually it's a collective effort. When everything is loaded into the trailer, that's when like the breath of fresh air comes in, and then we can go eat, go to hot tubs, go to pools, and go into our civilian clothes, and then enjoy the rest of the night.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
true.
Do you do like costume changes at all, or do you mostly just stay in your white outfits and then?
It depends if we're doing like a special show, one-off show of some sort. Like we've done a handful of like NSYNC versus Backstreet Boys.
Oh, okay.
Where we'll kind of do very quick changes, but for the most part, we like to do the all white. It's just
all white all night.
All white all night.
There you go.
Yes.
So when you do like a Backstreet versus NSYNC, then do you also like try to look like certain members too? Do you guys cheese it at like, do like the hairstyle or the color or whatever? Or only 5 of you go out at once?
And I'm from California. Coming to the Midwest, what I immediately experienced so much fervor and love for cover bands and for tributes, and the culture here is really rich and incredible for that. We are a little different in that we kind of let the audience create and imagine for themselves, so that the whole palette of our songs, because it's not, I think a good example, like Backstreet Boys versus NSYNC, that comprises maybe half of our repertoire at most.
Yeah.
And the amount of variety outside of that requires that you're dynamic enough, or in the case of All White All Night, you're a blank slate. Right. Yeah. So that you're just like, this could be Ashley Parker Angel. This could be anyone.
Joan or, yeah.
So I think the answer is no. We don't take on individual personas.
So you're still like yourself. Okay. But yeah, that's kind of good. Yeah. Nice.
Well, I'm sorry. It's funny that you bring that up because we were auditioning to be part of a TV show. I guess we could talk about it because the show's done. It's already done. So Jimmy Fallon was producing a show called Clash of the Cover Bands. So we made it to the final interviews with that, and they loved us, and we did a cappella, and we sang our hearts out. And then they asked if we would dress up like Justin Timberlake and all that stuff, and
some ramen noodles on there, and
and that's not really the tribute thing that we do. So they were looking for like an Ozzy Osbourne, Jennifer Lopez. So we were still staying true to our brand of being a bunch of boys that love boy band music and performing it, as opposed to like there's the Joey Fatone, there's the Justin Timberlake, there's Chris Kirkpatrick. Like instead of like going full fledged, we're matching their like with wigs and stuff. This is all real hair.
Gorgeous.
So we're staying true to that sort of brand, and celebrating it. But we also like the dance moves, we're doing the choreography, we're doing the vocal lines, we're doing all that stuff. So it's a compromise that people seem to enjoy.
Awesome.
That's great.
I'm glad that you do. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just wondering, like, just to take it a step back a little bit. So when you're putting the show together, like, how do you curate what songs you're going to put into the show? Because I mean, we love boy bands, and we know there is like a plethora of songs out there. And so, I mean, there's some obviously that you got to hit, like I'm sure if you don't play Bye Bye Bye, there would be like a riot in the crowd or something like that. But like, how do you go through curating like what songs you pick for your show?
It's funny you ask that, because it's people that are fans of certain boy bands. It's almost like they're in a gang. So like New Kids on the Block fans it's usually an older demographic, and they come in their like washed denim vests and with their patches, and they want more New Kids on the Block songs. And then we played an all girls overnight
summer, like a sleepaway summer camp.
So it was tweens, and they didn't know New Kids on the Block, so like we can't play that there. But man, do they know Jonas Brothers in One Direction?
Yes.
So it's usually knowing your audience and making sure that we're delivering Usually when we do like festivals and it's all ages, we'll do a variety of everything. So it'll do the whole spectrum of boy bands. If it's an older crowd, like when we play at wineries, like we'll play at outdoor wineries, it's usually
that's nice.
just NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, New Kids. It's a great pairing, wine and boy band.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing. Yes.
Yeah.
Light my hands up. Wow.
And then, you know, for an encore, sometimes people are spent on boy band music. So as an encore, we'll do Spice Girls and Britney Spears.
Ooh, very good, very good.
Just to get that, you know, like, oh my God, we weren't expecting this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still under the same.
That's nice.
And then if it's a adult show where there's a lot of adults there, we'll do the Magic Mike version of Genuine's Pony.
Pony? Yes.
Oh my God. Look at that. We have to go to a show.
Lydia's like, how do I book a private show?
Oh, that is amazing. Good for you, though. Like, you know your audience. You're hitting it. That's
Yes.
And that's good that you switch it up so you guys don't get bored too, right? So it kind of keeps it like fresh and.
It's sort of like I think a drink pairing is a really great way. Is this a White Claw audience? If it's a beer audience, we got that too. There's a lot of rock influence in this kind of music. So last night, actually this weekend, we were playing two very, very different settings.
Yeah.
One very dark, grungy, one very bright and classic. And you know, our set list doesn't change revolutionarily, but there's definitely different emphasis and approach. You know, but I think in the end, I think as far as song list goes and that curation, I think we would probably disappoint as far as how much variety we throw in there. But the variety takes the place, or I think what drives the variety is the people, is dynamically. We will switch around our vibes, the personas, the parts we sing. All of a sudden, are more intimate or less intimate, or more polished, or more hilarious and humorous. And I grew up seeing boy bands in those two settings very starkly. You'd have that promo gig where NSYNC is so choreographed, but you'd also have these like MTV Beach House like party. So anyway, I think that's what we're really trying to curate, a whole experience.
We love fun.
Yeah. You can tell right now. You're very fun.
Well, and I think the good thing is that you're doing, and I mean, it's kind of something we try to do with this when we started this podcast as well, is that like you could be a straight up Backstreet Boys cover band and we're only going to sing Backstreet Boys songs, and that would maybe make your life a little bit easier because you would just be, perfecting those same songs night after night. But if you do all boy bands, if you cover a spectrum, then it gives you that ability to kind of just like switch in and out based on your crowd, based on what you're feeling, based on the venue. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what we try to do here too. We don't dedicate ourselves exclusively to one boy band, even though we might have our like individual preferences. We're just like, we'll cover all of them because it just gives you more variety and more fun, honestly.
Yeah, and honestly, we've found over the last 3 years of doing this podcast, like we came in with like Diane and Sophia were huge Backstreet only boy band fans. Lydia and I were kind of Team NSYNC in high school, but kind of obviously still also liked Backstreet, and I also like the one-hit wonders, obscure Canadian boy bands, other ones, right? So at the beginning, we were very like more pigeonholed within the others, but having listened to new albums, going to different concerts and stuff like that, I feel like it really like
research
increased our we've done a lot of research on boy bands that we've never heard of, or people are like, oh, we want more about Westlife, or whatever, and we're like, oh, okay, cool. So we'll like do stuff and try to get more of the other ones as well.
I heard The Wanted just came out with new music.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Just to go off in that direction.
Just to go there.
I don't think we've done anything with The Wanted, actually.
Not yet.
I don't think so. No.
We'll add it to our list of ideas.
Yes.
I think the other thing too to kind of note on is that you'll see with the.
Oh, he froze.
He froze. Come back, baby, come back.
We'll give
you
them a second.
You can blame it all on me. Okay. In the meantime, I will share my screen and also.
So handsome, holy shit! You're hilarious, Lydia.
You're hilarious, buddy. Oh my god,
I'm so gorgeous, I can't help it. Okay, here, everyone, please look at this apparel shop. This is Boy Band Review. Chunzia, let me know when they come back, so I can obviously we can go back to them. Okay, so this is their neck gaiter, just like a buff, I guess. Yeah, we got the mug. We have
what does it say on there? It just says Boy Band Review.
Boy Band Review. Yeah, Boy Band Review. All of them say Boy Band Review. Boy Band Review.
Oh, that one has all the pictures of them. Can you touch that one?
Which
touch that one. Click that one. The one with the sweater.
Fanny pack. Oh no, never mind. No, sorry, I'll go back.
It has all of them on there, right?
Oh, are they back?
Welcome back. We were just looking at your merchandise.
Sorry. All right, we'll stop sharing.
Okay.
Where'd they go? There, add to stream. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, you guys back?
Sorry about that. That was on us. How are you?
Good.
We're good.
We were looking at your merch in the meantime. That's okay, no worries. Okay, let's get back to business. All right, so okay, so let's see here. What else? Okay, I saw. Okay, so you have like a lot of like so much social media, and I'm like super proud of you guys. This is amazing. You have like your website, Boy Band Review. Then you have let's see here. You had merch as well. Then the way I found you was on Kickstarter, and then you also have a YouTube as well. Like this is amazing. Like, is there like one person who's in charge of social media, or do you guys share the load? Like, how do you do that?
We always share the load.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
Yeah, I think there's multiple like, creative personalities in the group, and everyone contributes in a different way. Also, yeah, that was your own personal taste of boy band humor, boyish. We really stick to the
we stick it to
the script. We share the Sam is probably a creative lead on social media, and content creation. I think we all want to do more of it, but we play about 10,753 shows a year. And so a lot of our
one of my favorite things is that we all have access to the social media pages. We played a festival in Chicago, and a girl was really excited to talk to one of the guys. So she's DMing the band, and we're all getting it at the same time. Everyone's responding differently to this girl.
No.
And we're like, who do you want it to be? And it's just like playful banter that we keep on going back and forth with. We just came up with a hotline as well, so you can call this hotline number. The only way to access this hotline number is if you go to any of our Facebook events or Eventbrite events.
Lydia's like getting some ideas in her.
I'm listening. Hold on. Sophie, I'm listening. What? Sorry, hotline? If you go to Facebook event, and then what happens?
Yeah, if you go to a Facebook event or Eventbrite, any of the Eventbrite or any of the past Eventbrite shows with Boy Band Review, we put a hotline number in there, and we hired a British guy because we loved his accent to talk on this hotline number, and then it gives you options to get in touch with the boy band members or to book the show and other things like that. So we try to make it
that's hilarious
to do it.
That's brilliant.
That's hilarious.
Man, British voices are just amazing too.
But also, like, what a throwback, because isn't that like such a 90s thing that they would like have these hotlines? Like,
yeah,
I don't know, I can't think of one that like really existed, at least here in Canada, but like on The Simpsons, there was that like,
Corey.
Oh my God.
Corey allegory.
Release CDs where if you pop it in your computer, you get all the
yes.
Again, it's about the experience, so that's why we have all these different realms that we kind of exist in, and it's just another way for them to connect with us.
That's awesome.
How long is your show? An hour and a half?
It depends on what the need of the venue is or the festival. We'll do anywhere, our shortest show is usually 30 minutes to an hour. The longest show will go about 2.5 hours to 3 hours.
Nice.
Nice.
Mission or anything in between that, or?
Yeah, the average show is about 2 hours of performance, and then we also supply sort of like fun 90s throwback music at door and at set breaks as well. So we kind of keep the theme going for the whole night.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Awesome.
It's a really.
What is it? Oh, so go ahead.
After the show can be just as important as Brian was mentioning, with individual conversations, group conversations, and group efforts toward photography and promo. March. So hour after a show all together taking photos with people just like the greats always that's as much a part of the show as sometimes is.
Yeah, it's funny. We were just actually talking to some guys who created like a boy band like card game, and we were talking about how important it is these days for like people in groups and things like that to interact with their fans on social media. Like it's almost an expectation nowadays that like you don't just do the show, come in, get out, and that's the end of it, right? There's like so much more.
Well, I mean, social media with TikTok and backsync. Like I smile ear to ear when I watch those videos, and Lance Bass is amazing on TikTok and all that.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's another tool that connects the audience, and it's really like our Snapchat is boy band snaps.
Nice,
clever,
amazing.
And like people have a fun time interacting on that. Some people are more TikTok. Older people like Facebook. And
older.
And then,
Wait, by older we mean any of us.
Way to save yourself.
I use it too. I'm a boomer. I know. I'm not. You're not. People call me a boomer because I'm on Facebook. They're like, "Oh, okay, boomer," and I'm like, "Okay, I like Facebook because it's easy to use.
It has pictures and words and links."
Exactly.
Yes.
So what
we all kind of have a social media that we do. Like Sophia's very Twitter, Diane is very Instagram. I'm like Facebook. Diane has any of the new technology, we've put it to her. We're like, you figure this out.
Yes.
Yeah. So what has been your favorite show you've done so far?
Wow.
And each of you can answer this, like if it means like something personal to you.
Yeah.
We did a show at a winery, and it was 2,000 women showed up. Sorry, double fisting bottles of wine. So it was proud and very interactive. So I really enjoyed that show because the PA system wasn't loud enough for our singing. The crowd was overpowering with their sing back with us. So I thought,
nice answer,
Brian.
My favorite would probably have to be the times that we visited the Calumet Theater in Calumet, Michigan, in Upper Peninsula, Calumet, Michigan, and it's not only just for like the historical factor. It is beautiful, and it feels like we are stepping into another time.
Talk about the grand piano.
But we also in 2019 had a little. We usually play with all the bells and whistles and all the lights galore, but in 2019 we did a performance of One Direction's "Story of My Life," and we did it with just us singers, and Russ was on piano.
Yeah,
and
the venue had a grand piano on site.
Oh wow!
Yeah, in tune.
Yeah, it was just a really stripped back of the song, and it was something that I, for one, will remember for
because we never
a really long time. We never do stuff like that, and it was just so special, and you could tell that everyone was with us. So
nice,
beautiful.
So, my shows usually end up being the ones where the crowd is extremely into it, and they end up singing more than you do. But I would, if I could, I would have there for, but like that's kind of what they're there for, actually, in a way, because like they just want to sing their hearts out, right, to these songs.
Yeah.
And so, so to that point, we've had 2 shows where I felt like, oh my god, like amazing. This is why I do this. We spoke about one earlier, the all girls. When we played "What Makes You Beautiful" by One Direction. When I tell you that we couldn't hear ourselves or anything around us because
the earth shook.
The earth shook. I mean, they were their lungs. And we were I was in awe. I was like, oh my god.
We all had a revelation.
That was a flyout day. Massachusetts, we sometimes do meets far away.
So yeah, like it was the craziest response we've had to date of an audience, and so aside from that, we also had a show in Grand at a venue called 21 Row Live. It was one of my earlier shows, at least in my career with boy band, where again it was actually the same song, "What Makes You Beautiful." I have the video on my Instagram where I just let the audience kind of take the part where Harry Styles sings the melody, and the crowd just sang it, and I love the give it to the crowd, and they take it, but then they take it and they sing it. Oh, so those two shows, Live in Massachusetts, all girls.
Jan, what's your Instagram handle?
Instagram handle would be Jan_the_man.
Jan the Man.
Nice.
There you go.
I have to say that that's one of my favorite things about going to concerts is that it's kind of like a live action karaoke experience with the artists, right? So I am always singing unless I'm recording, and then I don't sing because I don't want anyone to hear it. But I just like getting immersed in the actual concert and being there. I have this kind of a concert ticket snob, and I need to be as close to the stage as humanly possible because I need to have that interaction with the people on stage. And if I feel like I'm not, we have a thing, we bring signs a lot because I feel like that helps us like get noticed. And they're not like ridiculous. They're like small. Like back in the day when I was a teenager, they were like glitter and all this other stuff. Now it's literally just like hot pink Bristol board, and like I will literally bring a marker with me, and like sometimes even mid-concert I'll be inspired to write something like about the concert or whatever and put it up, and then I get the interaction. It's just that's just something that I really miss with the not going to concerts, so I'm looking forward to doing that again. But
have you had any pandemic concert experiences that were still really positive for you?
So we haven't like Ontario, we're in Ontario, Canada, so pretty much a lot of things were really shut down. So the only concerts we've really been to is O-Town did virtual concerts. They did 3 sets. So they did Valentine's Day, the St. Patrick's Day, and then their 20th anniversary. And that was a lot of fun. So they were there, and then afterwards, Trevor would go on Instagram Live and chat with people and pull them up and stuff. So
what was the platform they used, Chin?
Sessions, yeah.
That's right, yeah.
So yeah, it was actually really cool. Like we found out afterwards when we talked to them later is that it was they pre-recorded actually all 3 shows the same day. So
they rented a studio.
Yes, they rented like a venue. But they said it was hard for them because they're used to performing in crowds, right? And having people and having the feedback from the crowd. And this was literally just like a cameraman and like a manager or something. So they weren't able to like, they did really well. Like actually it was ironically, I just watched them last night because they're on YouTube now, but they're like, yeah, it's like a different vibe when you're not getting people like interact with you. So like you said, like that 2000, the girls singing and all that stuff. Have you ever been to one where people are just like sitting in their seats and not like getting up and singing? Like, do you find it harder to perform in a venue like that?
There's a couple of seated shows that we've done where I feel like the venue entity that we're playing at has like a membership where they just come see shows. So it could be like
a casino.
Some casino shows I find are like that.
And people people hear boy bands and they're thinking it's going to be the Beach Boys and the Beatles, and they've never heard of any of the songs that we're playing. Not one song. And they're like, it's good, but I don't understand it.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah, accurate.
I'm just I want to stand up, but everybody's sitting down, so I'll do some awkward chair dancing. I actually had one of my it was a country musician that I'm friends with, but he's like, "Are you okay over there?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm just chair dancing like an awkward weirdo." While everyone else is sitting down.
I was thinking about, we went to a 98 Degrees concert that was at a casino, and it was like very clear that most of the people who were there were just comped tickets and didn't actually care about 98 Degrees. Like there was a little section at the very front that was like their fans, and the rest were just like high roller casino people, and they kept like getting up and down in the middle of the show and leaving and like, you know, just like looking bored, and we were like at the back, like
we were like on the side dancing. We're like, screw this, like we're in the dark, there was nobody behind us. So yeah, that was actually our last boy band concert before
in real life.
No.
And before pandemic.
You're thinking of a different one, but I'm thinking of a different one, the Christmas one.
Oh, yeah, that one was, we were at the very back of that venue, but yeah, 100%. Like, it was all a bunch of old people, and they're just like, we're walking away, and we're just like dancing, like we had a row to ourselves, and we were just like losing our mind. It was fun times, but yeah, no, you're right. That did have a really weird vibe, that show. That was.
You can't predict.
But we understand we're not going to be everyone's darling, like, and we're fine with that. Even at those shows where people aren't as engaged as other shows, we're still having the time of our lives on stage because we're just feeding off of each other's energy.
And
Still, like, we just played a show in Chicago that everyone was kind of like in the back of the venue. And there was not really many people like on the dance floor, and we were just like kind of teasing them, flirting with them, like through the mics in between songs, and eventually they came.
You won them over.
Good.
The challenge. It's a fun challenge.
Awesome.
We don't have the same situation. So we employ a tool of going out and chasing them down. We'll physically dance with people in the crowd.
Oh, nice.
With consent.
Yeah.
Of course.
Although, I would cap off this conversation on, like, I feel like there's like some topics that could actually come together in one particular show recently. We were flown out to Orlando World Resort Marriott, and it was during the heat of the pandemic, and they promoted a really wonderful situation in tough circumstances. They were rehabbing their pool. It was like, it's this beautiful, huge resort. They put us on a literal pedestal, like far off in the distance, and the view of the hotel allowed them to give the patrons, hundreds of people in hotel rooms with balcony.
Oh, nice.
The vertical show. It was a vertical show.
It was literally a vertical show, and that's tough for the audience. That's tough for us. But talk about signs. Talk about physical flirting interaction. Hundreds of yards away, but it was magical.
We're from Indiana. We're from Ohio.
That sounds so fun. I remember seeing that would be great to just see it, and they can't see each other, right? So you're only kind of with your balcony people, so Lord knows what the other people are doing, right?
Or like you two. Yeah, it kind of was like that virtual feeling where we're like, okay, well, we can't really see them, like, their faces, but we do see like their signs, and honestly, like, we heard them screaming, and it was definitely a different experience, but it was so much fun.
We had some super fans that came out, and they're like, we've seen you like 40 times. Can you please play Cards Against Humanity with us?
Oh, wow. Nice.
Played with them, and
we played cards, and we filmed a couple like just goofy TikToks. And we do what you can.
Of course.
For sure.
Nice. So you guys do have like some fans that like are repeat customers.
Yes.
They're with us this weekend. They drew the Iowa City, and they're going to meet us in Sheboygan.
Nice.
Do they have like a name? Like,
do you have like your fan?
Like a nickname?
Not their names. Like,
no, not their names.
Like...
No. You know how like as BTS has ARMY? Like, do you guys have like a name for your fans?
We don't have one yet, but that's an amazing. I haven't thought of a name for
reviewers. I don't know, something that takes your name.
Bandies. No,
I was gonna say bandies, but no.
Bandies sounds weird, and I was like, excuse me.
We should make a poll.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Good. Good engagement.
Because like your New Kids on the Block have the blockheads. Like there's all different
nicknames. Yeah.
What are the BSB and NSYNCers?
They don't have good ones.
They're so old. It's just
they don't
BSB
have one. They gave it to us, BSB Army, but we don't like that one.
Yeah. I was just like, and I think NSYNC is like that too, right? Are they also an army? I don't know what theirs is.
They might be an army too.
BTS is army though.
Yeah. I feel like we're copying them.
Yeah. O-Town is Townies.
Yeah.
And
Townies and blockheads is all I can think of.
Yeah, that's all I can think of too.
Directioners.
Oh, right.
Oh,
yeah.
You're right.
The Jonas Brothers, Joe-Ho's, is that?
That's not real.
I don't know.
That's terrible.
That can't be real.
I don't think it's okay.
That's not real.
It rhymes. There you go. So what is the most obscure boy band song that you guys like to play? Like that people don't automatically think like.
Okay, I got one
that we like to play.
I personally, I had not heard this song until joining the group, but Chains by Nick Jonas, I don't know how much radio play that ended up getting, but for us, we put our whole damn bodies into it, and it works. So it starts obscure, kind of like, okay, this is interesting, but people end up singing along. So I guess it's not that obscure.
I don't know if I know that one, but
I think you would know it if you heard it.
If I heard it,
yeah.
Can you give us a little tidbit of what it sounds like?
Got me.
Yes, please sing for us.
You got me in chains for your love. I wouldn't. Yeah. I would change this love. I wouldn't change this love.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Mwah, beautiful.
Oh my God. Oh.
So you do mention Jonas Brothers and One Direction, and you also mentioned that you guys do choreography. So how does that work when it's a boy band that really doesn't do a lot of stuff? Do you just kind of make up your own?
Yeah, One Direction doesn't really do a lot, so.
There's a lot of jumping. We just jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 1D, we were kind of like too cool for school on those songs.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's time you kind of take a break and relax and just sing. I know Lydia and I went to the One Direction concert and we're like, what is this? Why aren't you dancing? Why is there this thing in the middle of the stage? You're sitting down? Why are you tired? You're young.
Like 98 degrees, a big dancing choreography.
Yeah, that's true too.
But like Una Noche, I mean, we have hips and dips.
We are,
going throughout that
we're like
song,
practically doing the salsa.
Excellent.
I think that's where we really roll to the beat of our own drum. Like, we imitate some of this choreography, but we craft it to fit us more than just copying what the moves were back in the 90s.
So is one of you like the choreographer? Do you guys kind of just collaborate together, or?
We have a best dancer.
When it comes to coming up with new choreo, but
all you guys all do. Oh.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Jan's the man.
Jan's the man.
Jan's the plan.
I'm the dancer.
Russ is the
plan.
okay.
I love to dance.
I think the answer is the process for boy bands is classically like in these studios working on the choreo late into the night. Our shows are so dynamic and interactive and have so much variety that we take it much more personally, casually, and so we rehearse the choreo, we tighten it up, but there is not an apparatus like making executive decisions about choreo. That makes sense.
I'm gonna jump in.
Jump in.
Ooh.
Jump in.
The onus of a boy band is a bunch of different personalities, right? And I think we really fill that out. Like, I'm the elder boy band member, and I'm also like, I'm not the best looking of the guys, but man, if I had their looks and my personality, I would be unstoppable.
Man, you're lovely. Don't
You
talk
are
yourself
gorgeous.
down, sir.
My shining moments at the shows is interacting with the crowd and like this playful banter and personality with my hips and my smile and everything else. Sam is such a phenomenal dancer and an amazing singer. Jan and his Puerto Rican dips that he does. Russell is such a talented, a great dancer as well. It's just, I feel like when these personalities come together, and it's funny also at different shows, some members of the band get more attention than others. There's some older shows where I feel like a rock star, and then there's other shows where I feel like, oh, I'm like unsubscribe. Or Sam or Jan or even the band members will get attention too. So it's kind of fun because like in different markets and different audience or personality types will have a different reaction with the crowd. And that's what makes it kind of fun too. It's not like there's like this one rock star that for that
Nobody's Justin Timberlaking out
there's no Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Brian.
Everybody loves him. Everyone. No one doesn't like him.
I would have a sign for you.
Consistency. Also, while we're on the subject of looks, I agree that the band members, they often get outsized attention, a lot of attention for their like just appeal and their vibe, and so they'll command a good amount of that statically, and then beyond that, I think the experience of being at a boy band show, it's kind of like confounds expectations to have these live musicians featured completely equally, or what should be equally, on a day-to-day basis, and so it's like this extra dose of sex. Is that?
Yes.
Well, that's a good way to promote it. There you go.
Boy bands, I feel like, you know, you choose your like favorite, especially when you're, oh my God, when you're really young, you're like, that's my boyfriend, he's your boyfriend, and that's your boyfriend. But we have
true
guys on stage, and the musicians command just as much of that appeal.
We should sell pregnancy tests at our merch booth.
Perfect.
You can get them at the dollar store, put a sticker on it. There you go.
Your next merch.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yep.
When you guys come to Canada, I'll get you a whole bunch of pregnancy tests.
But no, but that's like totally the part of the boy band formula, and part of what makes them successful, especially in appealing to like young girls, is that there's supposed to be someone for everybody.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, as a Chris Kirkpatrick fan, I do not have a lot of competition with people liking my lovely husband. But, you know, he's hilarious. He's funny. He's outgoing. He's, like, a good singer. So there's all these things. And everyone's like, oh, you like Chris? I like blah, 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 Justin or whatever, right? Or even, like you were saying about the different shows, like, in North America, no offense, but poor Howie D does not get a lot of love a lot of the times. Like, Nick Carter's getting all the screams and AJ, but in South America, it's like, Howie, and then they're like, you know, right? So it also depends where you go too, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with, I feel like that reflects real life a little bit. You know, you in like a cliquey situation, you're scared of going for the popular guy, and also he's probably a dick, and you end up going.
I've met Justin a few times, and he's a dick. So he's an asshole. So he broke up the band. Lance didn't get to go to space. There's a lot. Every time I find a wax statue of him, it's just a picture of me giving him the finger, right? But like 99% of the people love him, and I hate him with a passion. And if NSYNC ever get back together and we do a VIP, I'm gonna kick him out of the picture and give him the finger in this. But you know, I digress.
On the money, because everyone's got to find their vibe, their partner, their inspiration. Yes. Love that yours is Chris. Do you know Fairly Odd Parents, Shiny Teeth and Me?
Yes, I play that quite frequently for them.
Spreading that needs to be known.
But even just like, so I had met Chris when I was a teenager, and then what was it, probably like 5 or 6 years ago we went to that convention.
It was 2016, so like 5 years ago.
Yeah, 5.
So we went to Kentucky. Was it in Kentucky?
Yes.
We went to Kentucky for this convention, and I'm just like, and normally at concerts, I'm always having fun. I'm always whatever. I see girls crying. I'm like, wow, okay, you're kind of a loser, whatever. Don't cry. So literally we're at this convention, and Chris walks by immediately. First of all, my brain doesn't even like recognize that it's Chris. I was just like, oh, this man looks familiar. And then like, it's just like it clicked, and then like waterfalls are coming down from, I'm just like, why the hell am I crying when I've just seen Chris? Like, they're all laughing at me. This other girl's like, I'm sorry, you're crying over Chris? I'm like, okay, here, you can have my VIP pass to meet him, because we had that, right? But he was just like,
I got that on video. So if you want to go to my Facebook, you can see that.
Hilarious guy. And he was just like, he's like, dude, bro. And they were like, and he was making fun of us for being Canadian and whatever. And even on the Sunday of the convention, he's like, yo, I want to go shopping. You guys want to come with me? So he like took us around shopping. And then like some random guy thought he was in the Backstreet Boys. And he's like, oh, I really love the Backstreet Boys. He's like, oh, thank you. And we're just like, that happens, right? But he's just like hilarious. So then, I don't know, probably like 2 or 3 years later. Well, we worked at I don't know if you guys went to Rewind Con in Chicago, because you're from Chicago area. Did you hear about that one?
I think we were playing, but we definitely.
Were you guys there?
No, we weren't playing at it. We were playing somewhere else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
that was
That was a disaster anyway.
It was a disaster anyways. But like, so I met him there, whatever. And hung out with like 90 Degrees and like Drew, and we were like making jokes and making fun of Jeff Timmons. Like, it was just like, so, because Jeff Timmons was wearing this shirt that had holes in it, and I'm like, I wonder if his nipple's gonna pop out of this shirt, and then it did, and then we're like, so me and Drew were like pissing our pants, and we're just like, and we're like, so Jeff, you're excited to be here? He's like, what? He's like, oh my god, this is a new shirt. I've never worn this before. We were killing ourselves. So it was fun for us, but like none of the boy bands got paid. Like O-Town wrote a song about it, called Shady Business. Like that's from that convention also. Anyways, but anyways, so we went. It was entertaining, but a few years later we went down to Nashville to see the Backstreet Boys because I know Chris lives in Nashville and our friends there, and I was like, I wonder if he'll be at the show. So AJ was doing a showcase, and Brian's son Bailey was also doing it, so we were there, and then Chris happened to be there, so I would just casually like walk out to like the area where he's hanging, and I was like, hey, he's like, hey, and we like go up, and I'm like, I drove all the way from Canada. He's like, yeah, I know you're from Canada, whatever. And he was just like, and I hadn't seen him in a while, but he just like recognized, took pictures, and like it was just like a nice moment. And I think that like when you're a teenager, you don't think you're going to get these moments with these boy bands, and now it's just so much easier to like have interactions. And you have, like on my birthday, he tweets me and like happy birthday and stuff like that. So it's just like, it's kind of nice to like think that like when you're 14, everyone's like, oh my God, you're such a loser. And now you're like 30 something and they're just like, hey, how's it going? Haven't seen you in a while. Like, it's just like a nice connection thing. Right. So
well, it's good that you do that with your fans because, like, you don't know, like, on the other side how good it feels to, like, just, like, what you guys do is really great, honestly. Like, you guys are, like, so talented, and yeah, like, when you interact with the fans, just know that it does mean a lot.
Are your passports up to date? Like, can you guys come to Alaska?
Yeah, that's a long drive. Oh my God.
The end of the month, we're allowed to cross the border for 72 hours without paying. So we're like, sign me up. Got my passport ready to go. So
I know you might be playing with.
You might know the person you might be playing.
Oh, the Alaska one. I had it narrowed down to 2 members, and I figured.
I guess
I know someone.
Anyway, we are so we are actually without being just to be frank, we have to get to Wisconsin. I think we're gonna be late now.
Yeah, so we do not want you to be late for your show.
Okay, before we go though.
That escaped my mind until just now. Yeah.
Okay, no worries. Just please promote yourselves, please, so that way everyone can get on your vibe, if you don't mind.
Let people know where they can find you.
Yes.
Not like
on social.
Any platform, Instagram, Facebook.
REVIW.
If you follow Boy Band Review on Instagram and then go to the accounts that we like Boy Band Review is following, it's all of our personals. So it's kind of like us to connect. It's a little hub. So I would recommend that. And then Boy Band Review.
All right.
And that'll have like all your upcoming shows and all that kind of stuff too, right?
We have a link tree that gets you to all our social media pages. So whatever your platform is, we own it.
All right. Well, definitely we'll put a link to that in the description of the YouTube video so people can check it out. But yeah.
And each of you say goodbye with your name so that way everyone can remember who you are.
Thank you.
I'm Sam. Peace out.
Bye, Bri. And
nice.
Omar Mexico, hasta la vista, baby.
Yeah.
Okay, see you later. Tyler. Bye.
Nice.
Amazing.
All right, Kate, go ahead.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for being on, and thank you to you guys who are listening and watching for taking a break with us.
Until next time.
Thanks for listening.
Everybody wave together.